What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Duenkel Productions Podcast. Podcast presented by Wisconsin Heroics, as always. Friends and fans of the show all over there, go check them out. They do great work on Wisconsin sports, fantasy sports, outdoor sports. Make sure y'all go check them out. I'll have that link down below. Also, make sure you guys go check out G5 Shirts and Designs. We'll have some merch coming from them soon. We're very much looking forward to that. And also G5 Shirts and Designs, one-of-a-kind shirts, one-of-a-kind fans. Go check them out. Use code WISCO, get $1 off, free shipping. I think their shirts are pretty cool. Jake, I know you're not a huge Wisconsin fan, but I know that you do like their shirts and stuff like that. I might have to give me an Aaron Rodgers, one of those like nice Aaron Rodgers t-shirts or something like that. But Jake Mueller is joining me as always on this Mueller Monday on a Tuesday edition. But Jake, how are you today, man? How we doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks, Dunk, for having me on again. But yeah, make sure you check out G5 Shirts. They actually have some pretty cool designs. I'll give them that. The ideas are pretty cool. If they had a Bears one, like a Bears Bowl or something like that with the Jordan 23 and GOAT, you'd probably see me rocking that, to be honest with you. But instead, it's the green and yellow. So we'll see how that goes. But like you said, I think this episode's mainly focused on March Madness, right, Dunk?
Yeah, all about March Madness. Man, has it been a lot of fun so far. A lot of upsets, a lot of unexpectedness. 100-year-old nun, Sister Jean, is praying the Ramblers into the Sweet 16. I cannot believe what has gone on so far. And we're here to break it all down tonight. Also, I just want to say, guys, I know you're going to be seeing this probably about Friday or Saturday. We just want to say thank you for all the support. You guys have really been turning up with the videos. We've even gained 2 or 3 subscribers today. So huge shout out to everyone. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you know someone that likes sports talk or topics or predictions, tell them to subscribe, tell them to check us out. We'd love to have any of you guys on the show. Just let us know. But Jake Mueller, best March Madness moment so far in this tournament, what would you say?
I'd probably have to say probably upset. I know you're not going to like it. The upset of Oral Roberts versus Ohio, and then Oral Roberts again going at it against Florida. That'd be probably my top like series, and then probably following right after is Loyola. We'll see how far they can go. Like you said, Sister Jean, she's praying up to the big man upstairs. She's trying to get them boys to the Final Four, and who knows, especially how March Madness is. It's one game, and you've got to prove everything in one game, and they're doing pretty good. The big mustache man, he's carrying a big load, so we'll see how that goes. And but no, that's probably my top 3. I gave you a 3 instead of 1. There you go.
So yeah, Jake, I think there's been a lot of great moments so far. I would definitely, as much as it pains me to say this, the Oral Roberts upset was absolutely crazy. To be completely transparent with you guys, I was actually in class virtually during the first half of that game, and I was freaking out. Okay, I was freaking out. I was nervous. Okay. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. It was a crazy game to watch, and then finished class about end of the first quarter, and then watched the second half, and it was just all stressful. And then finally end up losing. I would also say though, Abilene Christian, man, beating Texas, that was unbelievable. I'm gonna give them boys props. Obviously, Jake, you gave 3. I actually have 4, believe it or not.
Go for it.
So the USCB Creighton game was one of my favorite games to watch. I watched that whole game from start to finish because a lot of people were telling me like that was possibly an upset. Creighton obviously held on. Great game, 1-point game, 68-67. And then obviously, Jake, as you mentioned, Sister Jean and the Ramblers, man, I don't know. And the crazy thing to me is that Sister Jean it's an icon. Like she's just taken over the sport of college basketball at this moment. It's unbelievable. And you know what the crazy thing is, Jake? is when you look at the Loyola Chicago basketball team, they're not a bad team whatsoever. They're actually a pretty good team. I think they don't get that national recognition because they're in the Missouri Valley Conference. You know what I mean? A little bit of a weaker competition. But when it comes to the big stage in 2018, Loyola, they went far in the tournament. This year, they're gonna go far in the tournament. At the very least, Sweet 16. I honestly have them reaching the Final Four. But we'll talk about predictions for the Sweet 16 games later. But Jake, I think that this tournament has been a lot of fun so far, and I think it has really made us realize just how much we missed it last season. Not having March Madness was really tough because it's so much fun to watch. Every game could be an upset. I mean, you've seen a 16 beat a 1 now. You've seen 15s upset 2s. You've seen 14 beat a 3 seed. You've seen an 8 seed just absolutely destroy a 1 seed. I didn't think like that Illinois Loyola Chicago game. Say what you want, but it was never close. I remember, Jake, I talked to you about midway through the first quarter, and I told you, I go, we got an upset brewing here. Like this is an upset waiting to happen here. But Jake, it's been a fun tournament so far, and obviously, we're looking forward to watching the rest. But I'll let you add anything else. But I just think this tournament so far in these first 2 rounds has just realized how much we missed March Madness last season.
No, for sure, especially with that was not Wisconsin game, that Loyola game. Yeah, Illinois got it they got it within like 7 points, something like that. But even then, it was always Loyola having that just dominance, the pure dominance. I mean, Illinois is a great team, and if you play that game numerous times, I'm sure they'd probably win just with the talent and size they have. Yeah. Loyola just dogged it out, and they played together, and they were just more consistent. And no, like you were saying, it wasn't even close. And I watched that game completely through, and it was pretty cool, especially like they're the Cinderella team now, I guess. But like you said earlier, I don't really think they should have been an 8 seed. I could see a 3 or a 4 seed in the standings, but like the NCAA took into account that they were in a smaller conference. It is what it is. But no, that's definitely a team that's really exciting to watch, as well as Baylor. I like Baylor a lot. They're just fun to watch. They're just crazy to watch. Same with Arkansas. I like pair them together because Arkansas is kind of like similar styles, how they just like to get up and run and they dunk the ball and stuff. And they're a pretty good shooting team, as well as Alabama's another good one. They just put on a clinic how to shoot the ball the other night. I think it was 16 threes they shot or they made 16 threes. So that's a really fun team to watch. Those are just fun teams to watch, as well as Gonzaga. That's just a really good team to watch. I feel like that's everyone's favorite as of right now, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And then I just watched a Michigan game last night, and they beat a pretty good LSU team, big LSU team. Michigan, I'd put them at second favorites in my opinion. I feel like they're gonna probably be somewhere around there. They're a pretty good team, but no, it's gonna be really exciting, and I'm excited for the Sweet 16 to continue into Saturday, which would be this morning when you guys watch this video. So yeah, I'm really excited. Elite 8, Final 4, and then the championship game. I mean, nothing beats it, right?
Yeah, and also, Jake, I wanted to ask you too. So much has been made about Big Ten teams getting knocked out early, and I was telling one of my friends this last night that I was talking to about the tournament and stuff like that, and I said, listen, I think the Big Ten this year, they were battle tested in every game. I mean, you had a stretch where Michigan was playing Ohio State, Illinois, and Iowa back to back to back, and then they finished the year with Michigan State, their rival, back to back. So you talk about just in that stretch there, like 5 of 7 games are against great opponents or rivals, and I think really what showed this year is the Big Ten was so good that they beat up on each other, and I think they ran out of gas a little bit in the NCAA tournament. But Jake, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think the Big Ten ran out of gas, or do you think that just upsets happen in March Madness? Do you think maybe why they were so beat up attested to how many close, tough games they were playing?
that's a really big talk, especially on the big main media. Like they're saying like Big Ten literally fell apart. There's one team remaining. I believe there was 9 in the tournament, the most of any conference. And then the Pac-12. Pac-12 has been whooping some cheeks out there. And SEC and then the other ones, but Pac-12 has been the main focus. I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest with you. I think having beaten up on each other, because honestly, you can't say that's not the best basketball conference. That is. It's just hands down the best basketball conference.
Yeah.
Did they beat up on each other? Maybe. Also, I see it's just like March Madness, and you get those random spurts where you're just not on, and since it is the one game, it sucks, especially watching Luka Garza, his final game and stuff. I was hoping for a deep run from Iowa. They lost, unfortunately, to Oregon, which is a pretty good team. They had a really good game. Oregon had a really good game. That's it. I don't think Iowa played bad per se, but I think Oregon just had a better game, if that makes sense. I just think the Big Ten is just really bad odds against them in this tournament. I think it's the best college basketball, but that's my opinion. How about you?
Yeah, and here's the thing is I do think it's a little bit of a combination of both. I think too, Jake, obviously we've talked about this with many people. I think we actually mentioned this in the live on Sunday, that not having fans in the stadiums, I think played a huge impact for these higher seeded teams. Because, usually if you're a higher seed in the tournament, you got the majority of the crowd on your side. And that does help you out, gets you energized, stuff like that. And obviously with everything going on in the world, no full crowds, no full capacity, all that. So I think that definitely plays a part in it. I think too, though, for me, I just think the Big Ten just beat up on each other. I just think there was too many great teams. And I mean, you look at even the teams like Minnesota, they went through a stretch where they won some games. Northwestern pulled off a few upsets. I mean, any team in the Big Ten seemed to be a good basketball team. And obviously, like you mentioned, Jake, 9 or 10 Big Ten teams made it, which is absolutely unbelievable. I think it's like the second or third most that any conference is getting in the history of the March Madness tournament. I think the SEC had like 12 one year. Maybe I believe the ACC was up there too, because I know obviously you had Duke, North Carolina, Syracuse, and all those other teams. But I do think that it was surprising to me, because I think I had like 3 Big Ten teams in the final. I had 3 Big Ten teams in the Final Four. I had 4. I had like 5 or 6 in the Sweet 16. So I was surprised at the Big Ten. Obviously, there's one team remaining, Michigan, and I do think that they will make the Final Four. I thought LSU was going to be their toughest challenge. I don't think Alabama can really give them that much of a challenge. I think Alabama, if they get hot from 3, they might present Michigan a challenge. But that Hunter Dickinson kid, that dude's unbelievable.
No, for sure. Like, I get that. I have a question for you after this, but I think.
Were you saying he's a beast? You were muted. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's a beast, dude. That center he's good. He was late in the game though against LSU. He was making some mental mistakes though, and he was turning the ball over and fouling when he wasn't supposed to. But I'm sure big coach will talk to him and get that under sorts, especially with I don't know the Michigan point guard, but he was making some late mistakes too. So that should be something to see. They're fouling and just taking dumb shots.
Well, that's part because Isaiah Livers is out too. Livers is a really good player. He's also a very good passer, which makes things easier on Hunter Dickinson, the 7'1" big man, the big fella, as Bill Raftery would say.
No, but like late in the game, a bad shot is just like a turnover. You can't have that. When you're up, man, you're taking deep threes, especially when they're contested, isn't that big? Oh, come on now. I thought this was a family-friendly channel.
It's San Pellegrino, Jake. You already know.
Twisted. All right, besides the point.
No,
I think you can, yeah, it's twisted. I see 5.4%. Come on now. Really? 5.5, 5.4? Come on now. My kid.
Really,
Come on now.
Really, Jake?
Dude, he's 19. What are you doing now? But no, I think Alabama. I think if Alabama beats UCLA because you can't give anybody,
Right. Yeah.
message, especially with this year.
Yep.
And if Michigan beats FSU, I think Alabama, if they're hot, will put up the biggest fight against Michigan that you've seen because they shoot the ball, especially in this whole season. The whole season, they shot the best they've ever shot in history of their college, the best in the NCAA Division I for shooting. And I think when a team is hot like that, it's really hard to beat, especially even if you're Michigan. Now my question to you though is, what is your favorite game so far of the Sweet 16 that you see that's coming up this Saturday?
Whew, man,
Sunday.
so we have a lot of good games. I personally believe that we have a lot of good games. I would say my favorite one though, I would definitely say my favorite one is the Villanova against Baylor. I think that, you know, I thought that Villanova would make it very far without Colin Gillespie. They seem to be playing really good team basketball right now. I could see them giving Baylor a run for their money. I mean, a lot of these games are good. I think obviously the Villanova Baylor game, and then I would also say Oregon State against Loyola Chicago. Those are two teams that are playing really good basketball right now. Oregon State coming off the Pac-12 tournament championship. They've now won 2 games in the tournament against 2 very talented teams, one in Tennessee, the other in Oklahoma State. Loyola, they're obviously coming off a win against 2 even probably a really good team in Georgia Tech, very good defensively, and then coming off being one of the best teams in the nation. So I think that game's going to be fun. I think all these games are going to be good though. The only one I could really see being maybe a blowout would be possibly the Arkansas Oral Roberts game, but at this point, I ain't even gonna count out Oral Roberts. After they beat the Ohio State Buckeyes. But Jake, what about for you, man? What's the game? Mine's Villanova Baylor. What's your game that you're most looking forward to watching?
Okay, I like your game. So I'm gonna pick away from that, and I'm gonna say these boys, Syracuse versus Houston. Now you might think an 11 versus a 2 seed. Houston is a very exciting team. They're similar to Baylor and similar to Arkansas. They like to get out and run,
Yep.
And they like to, they play very fast. They're a very fast team. So, but I think Syracuse is a very disciplined team. I think they shoot the ball really well. They got their traditional defense, that zone.
Coach.
The coach, yes, sir. The coach, as well as the coach's son, Buddy. He's the heart and soul of that team. That dude is cool under pressure. I would want him on my team for sure. So I think that's a really exciting game. But a game that could be good, and no one's really talking about it, is the Creighton versus Gonzaga game. Creighton, the whole season, it's been this, right? They either win the game by blowout or they lose the game by blowout. A team that's still in the Sweet 16, this is a good example of Villanova when they had Gillespie, right? So when they were full force, people were saying we're a top 5, top 3 team. First time they played Villanova, they blew them out 86-70, but then they played them again, and then they get blown 72-60, and it's like the back and forth. So you don't know what Creighton team you're going to get. So McDermott and the squad's going to have to get that under wraps because a lot of people aren't picking this to be a good game. Gonzaga, they say, is going to go all the way to the finals. So that's another good game. So it depends on what Creighton team wants to show up, the good one or the bad one. The Oregon and USC game could be pretty good. USC just spanked the brakes off of Kansas. Sorry, Gavin Goldstein. And Oregon just beat the brakes out of Iowa. I don't know any Iowa fans, so that could be a good game.
At Ty Schmidt from the Pat McAfee show.
Ty Schmidt, there you go, Iowa legend. But yeah, we'll see. I'm nervous about that Arkansas and Oral Roberts game, though. I don't like it though, Dunk. I don't like it one bit. I don't want to shave my head. If you want in the live stream, I have said if Oral Roberts wins another game in the tournament, that I will be taking my hair away. So we'll see how that goes.
Jake,
I do need a haircut, but we'll see.
Jake, honestly, I think you really don't have anything to worry about. Other than the fact that it is March Madness, dude. That's the only thing you have to worry about. Arkansas should beat Oral Roberts, but I mean at the same time, Florida and Ohio State should have beaten them too. So, I mean, who knows?
We'll see. I don't know. Like it's like you said, it's a 15 seed, and if they win, that's the farthest a 15 or higher seed has ever gone in the tournament. So. I don't want to shake my head, so let's go Arkansas. I was also rooting for Arkansas. I watched their game against Texas Tech, I believe it was. That was a really good game. A lot of good games. See, this is the good and the bad of this March Madness. 2 years ago, when we did have the March Madness tournament, you had Duke, who had like one of the best teams of all time, arguably, and then you had like Ja Morant, and then you had like all these players that like, oh my god, like you got to watch this player, or this team, right? This tournament is kind of different. These teams aren't like super crazy teams, and there's not like one player that's like, yo, that player is going to be something, that one's going to be something. It's usually just like a good team or like a mediocre team. That's how it is, and that's why you're getting all these upsets and stuff. And that's why, I mean, to be honest, I've been asking around, and especially in our polls on Instagram. If you haven't followed us on Instagram, make sure you follow us on Instagram. It's Duenkel Productions
down below.
Like the people aren't too excited about this March Madness, but I think it's a pretty good one because there's a lot of upsets, and I think it's the most upsets ever for the first 2 rounds.
It's gotta be up there, if not the best. But Jake, so for me, man, just looking at this right now, it's crazy to me that we have not one of these 4 teams. Can you guess what 4 teams I'm thinking of that we don't have in this tournament that are, I mean, perennial powerhouses? There's 4 of them.
Kentucky, Duke. Are you going to go with UNC? I mean, they're in the first round. You're going with them?
Yeah. Anybody that's if they made the tournament, they're not in this Sweet 16, count them in there.
Okay, so Kentucky, Duke, North Carolina.
Kansas.
Hold on. In Kansas, that is true. That is true.
It's crazy to me. We don't have any of those 4 teams, perennial powerhouses. None of them.
And like my dad was saying, like, I think the new powerhouses are Gonzaga, Baylor, and Villanova.
I do think that I do agree with the Gonzaga Baylor, but Villanova's been around for a while. Like, they've been a good team for quite some time.
No, I get that, but like they went on the same discussion as Duke, North Carolina, like back in the day. Like those are like, yo, you go there, you're trying to get to the NBA.
Yeah.
Whereas like the new and upcoming ones are the Baylor, Villanova. What was the other one I just said?
Gonzaga.
That's the other one. Yeah. Those are starting to come on the come up because it's the one and done kind of era where those teams are more, I feel like the teams we just mentioned are kind of more the sophomores, juniors, seniors kind of team.
Yeah.
Which is why they're so good because they play together. They've been with us in the system forever. Whereas you got the Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, especially Kentucky. Holy cow, Kentucky! It's there for 5 months.
And Jake, that was one of the things that I told people. When you look back at 2014, 2015, 2016, you had Kentucky with guys that stayed there together, the 2 Harrison brothers. You know, you had these guys that stick around for a while. You have guys like Michigan State who, you know, they go back to school to finish school and, you know, play their basketball. And then, you know, they decide if they want to move on to the NBA or not. And then you have also teams back in that era that I could think of, Wisconsin, you know, Kaminsky, Decker, kind of just start rising and rising and rising. And then, you know, junior, senior year, they're amazing, great players. But yeah, I definitely agree, Jake. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens here in the Sweet 16. And obviously, you know, Elite 8 and Final Four is going to be a lot of fun as well. But Jake, let's get into it. We have 8 games to choose from. We have 8 games to pick. Okay. So I'm going to give you a game and we're going to run through the list and you're going to make your picks. And then I'm going to make my picks. Okay. You ready for this? Yeah, Oregon State versus Loyola Chicago. Who do you have winning?
My heart, I want to go. I want Loyola to win it all, so I'm going Loyola. I think it's a good pick to go with. How about you?
This is a tough game. This is a tough game, man. This is a tough one because Oregon State has been hot. But I can't go. I can't go against the Ramblers, man. I cannot go against the Ramblers. I cannot go against Sister Jean. I cannot go against this team that is playing absolutely out of their mind right now. I think Loyola gets it done. Villanova, Baylor, two of the teams that me and you consider new school teams. Who do you think wins this game, Jake?
Dude, this is the game to watch. Honestly, it's on Saturday, March 27th at 4:15, something like that. Because I freaking got that. No one better text me. No one better text me. That's the game I'm watching. Shoot, dude, this is a coin flip for me. If they had Gillespie, this is a totally different game. I think I'm gonna go with Baylor just because they're a full healthy roster. I think they just got a little bit more of an edge. And I don't know, man. I can't really be certain, but I'm gonna go with Baylor on this one for me.
So, Jake, in our live on Sunday, we talked about who was going to make the Final Four. And I had one of these teams making it out of the region. I'm going to go with one of the best coaches in college basketball. I'm going to go with the better coach in this matchup. I'm going to go with Jay Wright. I'm going to go with Villanova. I doubted them to start. I picked Winthrop. I'm going to be honest, Jay Wright, I'm sorry. I picked Winthrop. I thought they were going to win. Villanova proved me wrong. They got to the Sweet 16. With how many upsets we've had, give me Nova. Give me Nova in this one. And I will say, though, Jake, this is going to be the best game of the day here. I mean, it's going to be a really good game. And then, Jake, we have the Oral Roberts Bobcats, I think, right? That's their team? The Bobcats?
They're the Golden Eagles. The Golden Eagles.
The Oral Roberts Golden Eagles versus the Arcane Arkansas Razorbacks. Who do you have in this game, Jake?
I'm going with Arkansas on this, man. I'm going with Arkansas. I'm not trying to shake my head. This is the better team. And I just like how these boys play, man. I'm telling you, this is going to be a hard game. This is going to be a hard team, a hard game to beat them. But, yeah, go Arkansas, baby. Go Arkansas. Let's go.
This is going to be a tough game for you to watch, Jake, because if Oral Roberts –
I'm not watching.
Dude, if Oral Roberts comes out of the gate swinging, Jake Mueller's going to be freaking out. But no, Jake, I agree with you. Arkansas, they got this one. I will say, going to be a close game, going to be a good game.
Hopefully not.
Huh?
Hopefully it's a damn blowout. I'm not trying to sweat.
Dude, it's going to be a close game. Every game from here on out will be most likely close. So I'm gonna go Arkansas though. I like that pick, Jake. And then this one is the second best, third best game of the day. But I think you could put it up there at one if you really wanted to. Syracuse against Houston.
Dude, like you said, that's another good game. I really like Syracuse and I really like Houston.
Yep.
I really like everybody, I guess, in this tournament. I guess, Duenkel. I guess I really like everybody. I like everybody who plays.
Sorry.
My gut is telling me Syracuse. I don't know why. I don't have a specific reason other than this is a well-coached team and they're really disciplined and I like the attitude on this team. So I'm going Syracuse to make it all the way to the Elite Eight. I'm going to say Elite Eight at least.
This is a tough game for me to pick because I had West Virginia beating Syracuse and then beating Houston.
Yeah.
I watched that game, Syracuse against West Virginia. I was very impressed with how Syracuse played. The two Boeheims are going to get it done. I just can't pick against a surefire Hall of Fame coach, one of the best to ever do it. I think Houston's a good team, but Syracuse, they're more experienced. Houston hasn't seen a lot of that 2-3 zone that Syracuse likes to run, and Syracuse runs that thing very well. They're definitely the best team when it comes to zone. And Jake, I think Syracuse gets it done. I think this is close, and I think this game, believe it or not, has overtime potential.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be a great game, but I'm rolling with the Syracuse Orange. Start of the day, top of the hour, 1:10. Well, 2:10 in the East, 1:10 in the Central.
Yeah.
Creighton versus Gonzaga. I think this game has potential to have a lot of scoring. Zagorowski and Suggs, two great players. Gonzaga, I felt like, has been the best team all season long. Creighton, I felt like they've been pretty good this season. Who do you got, Jake? This is a tough one, man.
Hopefully this makes sense. It makes sense in my head.
Okay.
This game is either going to be a huge blowout. I'm talking 20 plus points, or it's going to be a 1 or 2 point game. I think it's going to be it's not going to be a 6 point game. It won't be an 8 point game. It won't be a 10 point game. The team is either going to win by 20 plus points, or they're going to be a nail biter. And I think if it's going to be a big blowout, it's going to be Gonzaga doing the big blowout, to be honest with you. But I'm going to go with Gonzaga. It's a safe choice. I think it's a better team. It just depends on, like I told earlier, like which Creighton team is going to show up. The inconsistencies, I could not take that team. So I'm going to go with Gonzaga.
So, Jake, the spread on this game, Gonzaga minus 13.5. That's a big number. That's a big number. I'm going to go with Gonzaga. Close. Very close. Very, like skinnier teeth close. It's going to be 1, 2, maybe even a 3-point game. I just think in the end, Gonzaga, better coach team.
Yeah.
And I think they have the best player in Suggs on the court. So I'm going to go with the best coach and best player here. Wouldn't shock me though if Creighton pulls this off. It wouldn't shock me because Jake, you know as much as I do. If we get a team that's hot in the tournament, if they get hot, look out. Yeah. But Jake, the next game, Florida State versus a team called Michigan. What's up, Cooper Brinkman? Cooper, big Michigan guy. I know a lot of Michigan guys. Michigan favored by 3 here. This is a little closer than I thought. I actually said the word Michigan. I can't believe that just came out of my mouth.
It's okay.
But Jake, who do you got, buddy?
I think Michigan's going to win this game pretty easily. I think it's going to be pretty easy, to be honest with you. I think that spread's being really generous for FSU. I just think with the guard play up front, I think, you got an injury or two. But I just think, you got Dickerson, big man down low. But a really key, important play on that team is Eli Brooks, the guard. He's not – the coach even said, he said he's not the most talented player, but he's the most important player on our team. So we're definitely going to see how – they fare out. They just came off a really, really nice, good win against LSU, who's a really hard opponent to go against. But, Eli Brooks had a really good game. Wagner had a really good game. Brown had a really good game. And Dickerson had a pretty big defensive game. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to go with Michigan pretty easily on this game.
Jake, I agree with you. I think that team will win. Man, here's the thing, okay? It's Florida State, too. They're another team I doubted. I thought UNC Greensboro was about to pull off the upset in round 1. Florida State's out here proving me wrong. But as much as this pains me to say it, I think that Michigan is just too good. I will say the one thing that does concern me, if Isaiah Livers ain't able to play, that concerns me a little bit. I will say, though, if somehow he's back for this game, Michigan's going to win this game in runaway fashion. I think Michigan wins close without Livers. If Livers does, in fact, play when you guys are seeing this, I have Michigan blowing the doors off of Florida State. Again, I just said Michigan twice or 2 or 3 times in the last, minute.
You could take a break if you need it. I understand.
It's okay, buddy. We're on to the next one. UCLA, Alabama. Alabama, obviously, they've caused me a lot of pain. Them again, man, in football. Shout out Devontae Smith, man. Best receiver in college football. But UCLA versus Alabama, I mean, they got this kid. Alabama's got this kid named Jones. He's unbelievable. He's a do-it-all player. He's like Anthony Davis, but in college.
Yeah.
Jake, Alabama only favored by 6. Who you got?
I like that. I like Alabama by 6. I think Javon Quinley, man, I watched him in high school. I've been watching him throughout his whole time. He got out of Villanova, went to a better situation. He's got handles. He could pass the rock. You know, think his team can shoot. Ooh, damn good. John Petty, man, dude, that guy was heating up. Got Herb Jones, got James Jaden Shackleford, something like the Shackleford, like that.
Yeah,
I'm not
Jalen Shackelford.
Shackleford. I think this team is too good, man. This team's a good ass shooting team, but that's also really bad. Now let me tell you why. What if your shot doesn't fall? What do you rely on?
Yep.
To be honest, they ain't the best team on defense. So I think Javon Quinley's gonna have to have a really good game, like his type of game. He's a passer. He does that. He can also shoot, but like he passes and stuff. He's a quick guard. I like Alabama in this game. I think UCLA had a nice run in the tournament, but I think they're done.
So this is another game that really caught my eye when looking at the Sweet 16 matchups, because UCLA, obviously, they beat Michigan State, they beat, I believe, BYU, and then they just took out Abilene Christian. So they haven't played as good of competition as Alabama. They just haven't so far in the tournament. UCLA, they're 29. They've kind of been up and down this season. Up and down teams scare me in the tournament because if they're down, if you're down against a team like Alabama, you're gonna lose, and you're probably gonna lose big. But like you said, Jake, Alabama, when they're hot, they're hot. When they're not, they're not. But I ain't gonna pick against Herb Jones. I ain't gonna pick against Herb Jones and the Alabama Crimson Tide. I like the Crimson Tide to roll by 15. Roll Tide.
I like what you did there. I like what you did there, man. You're saying all the bad teams you don't like, man. What's wrong with you?
Here's the thing, man. It's basketball. I don't really have a bad hatred for Alabama and basketball. Yeah, everybody knows I hate the University of Michigan, or that team up north, as we Ohio State fans call them. But you know what, Jake? On this show, you gotta say the team's names properly. You can't be saying that team up north. You gotta put some respect on Michigan's name. They've been a great college basketball team. No, football, it's a whole nother story. They're gonna get blown out by Ohio State again this season. Every Michigan fan knows that already. But Oregon and USC, two teams, Jake, that I didn't even think. I don't even know if I had Oregon making it out the first round. They obviously, VCU had COVID issues, wasn't able to play the game. We hope everyone on the VCU basketball team is okay. Everyone's all good. But Oregon did end up moving on, destroyed Iowa, and USC last night destroyed Kansas. Sorry, Gavin Goldstein. I do feel bad for my man Gavin Goldstein. Me and Goldstein, great friends. Gavin's a great guy, friend of the show, obviously, friend of me and Jake's. Dude's absolutely hilarious. Probably one of the funniest people I know.
Energetic.
Yeah, he's energetic as well. But Jake, I don't think you can go against that center Moody on USC. You can't go against that man. He's unbelievable. Gavin Goldstein says that this man is going to be a surefire star in the NBA. He's going to be like the next AD. And you know what? When it comes to basketball, I usually don't disagree with Gavin Goldstein unless it's about LeBron James. So I like his prediction here. I'm going with USC, the USC Trojans over the Oregon Ducks. But Jake, who do you have in this game, buddy?
Like you said, this is going to be a pretty hard game to predict because both teams literally just blew their games out. So you can't
Good
really
teams too.
Really good teams. Yeah. But you really can't tell what a team is from that. I think of it more as a fluke. So it's hard to see. So that's why I'm going to take a step back and look at the first round game. So obviously USC played Drake, had a pretty good, decent win over them. But then if you look at Oregon, they weren't allowed to play against VCU. So it's going to be a really, really weird game. I don't really know which way to lean. Gavin Goldstein, he's a freaking guru when it comes to, scouting and analysis. He's a really good guy about that. And Duenkel, your craft too. Um, I don't really know, man. I was watching that Oregon and Iowa game, and early on, man, it was back and forth, nail biter. They were trading buckets for buckets, and then they just gained their momentum. So this is gonna be a really tough game. I'm gonna go. You and Goldstein are going USC.
I don't know who Goldstein's going with, but
He's probably gonna go for USC. Probably. I think he thinks that they're the better team. I'll speak for him. Hopefully not.
yeah, Goldstein ain't answering.
All good. I'm gonna go with Oregon in this game. Oregon.
Okay. Yeah, we will have the Goldstein pick in the little on the bottom left there. We'll have the Goldstein pick of this game. But yeah, I would expect him to go USC. He's a huge fan of their center. He thinks he's going to be a beast. But Jake Mueller, that is our predictions, March Madness updates, recaps. If you guys would like to see us come back and maybe do the Elite Eight predictions, I know that next Monday we are having two very special guests on Mueller Monday. We are having the fellas from Make the Cut join the show. We are going to do a Q&A. So when you guys see this on Saturday, I want you guys to drop questions down below. Drop questions down below. Let us know, what do you want to see us talk about? Sports questions, preferably, please. I would take personal questions if appropriate. So please keep them appropriate. Some of you fellas out there get a little wild with the comments, but it's all right. How are you doing? Keep it moving. But Jake Mueller, you have yourself a great night, buddy. We'll talk after the show, man, like we always do, about topic ideas and stuff like that. But again, huge shout out Wisconsin Heroes, huge shout out G5, and huge shout out to Jake Mueller. This dude is an absolute beast. He's got a busy week of school ahead, so Jake Mueller's about to knock that out the park like he does home runs. He's gonna shoot that. He's gonna shoot the three and splash it from the top of the key on the schoolwork. Top of the key three from Jake. The vibes. But you fellas, keep striving for greatness. That's what we always say. This is something we always say for you guys. It's always up here. Up there in the corner. Up there in the corner. Jake's got it down. I don't yet. But make sure you guys follow us down below. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys check out the podcast episodes. And seriously, guys, if you like a video that we do, please let us know down below, because we'll keep doing those videos. We want to put out there what you guys want to see. Also, got a website coming soon. Not sure that'll be out when you guys are seeing this, but it possibly could if I could just settle on a design and stop switching it every 5 seconds. But you guys will understand why I'm doing that when I'm done. But Jake Mueller, shout out to Jake Mueller for joining us tonight, everybody. Make sure to give him a round of applause in the comments section. Jake Mueller, any last words?
No, I think you said it all. Subscribe, comment down below what you want to see, who you want to see. We have some pretty cool guests coming our way. I won't give it away, but I got some pretty cool guests that wanted to be on the show. So no, for sure. Duenkel, thank you again for having me on, and strive for greatness, my man.
All right. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for watching.